Welcome to Clean Air Vapor's video series on building a POS system for your small business. I'm Timothy Haid. I'll be your host. I am using Filemaker 14 Pro. This video series is an extended series of videos to help the small business owner cope with the overwhelming cost of digital sales recording and accounting. These are a full-feature integrated data system and inventory management solution that I designed, and I wanted to share that with every small business owner I could. I hope you enjoy the video. Let me know if you do in the comments below. Thank you for watching and enjoy the video. And that's really not what we want. We want to make this as neat and as nice as we can. So I highly suggest we don't do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the subtotal. We're going to have our tax button. I'm obviously going to take that off of there. I'm just going to line these bad boys up. And we're going to need our grand total button. Now we can have the let's see, summary no price. We could put the summary no price up here if we wanted to. Why don't we just do that? Let's erase. Let's delete this one and delete this one, and we're going to put this one up here. And move these down a little bit. We're just going to put our summary no tax price, because this is our summary price no tax. And we have our grand total. So we can either have the tax due here or the tax button. I like the tax button to be here, and you can put the tax due if you want to. If you want to, you can put the tax due button anywhere in the field that you want to. So if you want to put it underneath here, you do a lot of hiding things in this system. You want to hide them so that people can't, a normal register or normal cashier wouldn't be able to see them. But so we're going to grab the amount tendered and the change due and stick those all in there. And I think those are good. We're going to go ahead and highlight all of those, and we want those to be at least 14, if not 18, and we're going to make them bigger, like so. That's probably too big, so let's undo it so it's not quite so big. Okay, now what I'm doing now is I'm just basically giving some space between them, because I like to have a little bit of space between them. So we kind of know what they all are and what they're doing and why they're doing that. It doesn't matter. I can move this wherever I want to, and then all I got to do is grab all of them, close that down. If you haven't noticed, I really like to keep this out of my way. I'm just going to even them out, so now they're all where I want them to be, and make them all straight in the centers. And now I will go ahead and add some verbiage to it. So you can be subtotal. And if you're going to do this, you might as well just go ahead and click on that and make it an 18 right off the bat. And then center it. Make sure that it is in the center. And then we're going to bring it down. Dink. And we're going to call this one, this is no tax, or I know the word is non-taxable, but there was a word that I'm looking for that actually means when something is void of tax. So let's just call this a subtotal. This is the non-taxed. Then we'll control drag that turkey down here, and tax, control, put it in the right place first, control, and then this is going to be the total due. That's how we're going to sell that one, is the total due. Tendered. And then this one, we will, if you just click on it, you can just type in whatever you want to, and then you have to click off, basically. So the change. Now, one thing that we're going to want to do is we're very quickly going to want to align these, but we're going to want to align them on this right edge. And now we can take all of these and move them where we want to. I like to have them relatively close, because once we get this out of the way, once we get this done, you'll see how different it actually becomes, or how different it actually looks. So, and if you want to just go straight up and down, the best way is to use your little directional keys, or your directional buttons, the up, down, left, right. That way you can keep them, you know that they're directly in line. Now you could select all of these, you can bold all of them, you can change the color of them. I am kind of a big let's change the color of things. That way I know exactly what it is. These, the one that I like to bold is the grand total. I like to make sure that it is more bold than any of the other ones. And you can also change the color of that, so it doesn't necessarily have to be this odd gray. You can make it a very white, so it just stands out in the process. These, you don't necessarily have to. And one thing that you'll notice is you can't do this. You can't just go across. Let's make these a little bit lighter. That's odd, but hey, it worked. And so now when we put information in here, also here we go, another thing that we absolutely have to make absolutely positive is we get into this data screen and we touch this, and we don't want this to be available in browse mode. We don't want this one to be available in browse mode. We don't want this one to be available in browse mode. The only one that we want available in browse mode is tendered. That way, when an individual touches this key, what it will do is it will set up a 10 key. You can go in and you can set up, and it says default for data type. When we know that that's a number box, so it will automatically do a numeric 10 key, which is fine. You don't need to change it. But if you feel more comfortable changing it, you can do that. So this is our basic, our very basic setup as to what we're going to do with this system. Let's make these just a little bit better. I'm going to bring these in a little bit closer. I'm going to grab all of this because I don't like the way that it's fitting there. I want it to be a little more centered on my page. There we go. So this is what a cashier is basically going to see. We're going to exit the layout, and as you can see, this is what the cashier is going to see. So they can go to the cash, the credit, the split pay, and those are going to light up like that. And we're going to have some buttons. We're going to put some buttons in here too later on. If you start a new record, see how the X all of a sudden appeared and the tendered came out. So if we go to edit layout, because we don't want that to actually happen. We don't want that to, we're going to go to layout, we're going to go to tab order, and we're going to clear all of them because we don't want that button to just automatically kick up. We want it to do absolutely nothing. Now I think all of these should be centered. I really like centered. You don't have to center them if you want to. You can, a lot of people, they put all of these to the left side, or to the far right side, excuse me. But I really like mine centered because I'm kind of anal about everything being just perfect. So from here, we will add some more buttons. We obviously want a button that goes to the menu. So we can, let's come up here because we don't want that. We're going to change it back to button. And we're just going to create a small, let's create a small button. And we're going to name this button menu. Right now we're going to tell it to just perform a single step. Click on this, the large screen, just once, and type in the word go. Go to layout. You'll have to double click it, and then it says original layout. You don't want the original layout, so you'll have to click it. Go down to layout. Now you're going to select a layout, and I want it to go to menu 1 because this is invoice 1. I don't want it to go back to the launch page, but to this menu 1. So that way I'm not having to create an additional step for my employees. Now I don't like the size of the font, so we will increase the size of the font. I think what I'm going to do is, I really do like that that 18th century. So I'm going to, look what I did. I made another box because I forgot to go click up this selector. So I'm going to just select it and delete it. I'm going to select this box. I'm going to squeeze it down a little bit because I don't want these to be big. I want these to be very small. I can outline them. As a matter of fact, I probably should outline these. But I like buttons that are on, when the buttons are on a different, they're in a different space or in a different area, I like to color them. I like them to be different. Look at that button. That's kind of cool. I like that color, but probably not as much as I like. I like to maintain similar colors or similarities in colors. Okay, I think I could possibly live with that. This color, sweet, and I can change the center color so it's not so dark to really lighten that button up. So we have this. Now you can also change, like, you can move these around. I don't like to move these around as much as I like to move the little, if you just grab that, as you saw in one of my other videos, you can just move that around. That's so much easier. So now this is what that looks like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab it, I'm going to control, I'm going to make several of these buttons because you're going to need several of these buttons. Go over here. And I'm going to make 4 of them. Now, one thing I will tell you right off the bat is when you make these buttons, you need to go to this and then go to position. So get to your inspector, go to your position, and then click on this last one and look at this position right here. The reason why is because what's going to happen is when a lot of this stuff is going to be very jumbled up when you put it on your tablet. It's not going to look exactly the same. So you can't line it up and be confident that that's exactly where it's going to be in the system. So when you do put your system together, what I recommend is put this like it is now. Make it pretty here. And then after the fact, after you've gotten your Apple pad and you've actually downloaded this program or uploaded this program to the host that we will tell you about at the end of these videos, which is FMP host basically, but it's very inexpensive to host, and you get all kinds of really great services It's the most cost-effective way to do it. It's like $20 a month, and you have unlimited access to it. You can access it from anywhere in the world. But let's not really get into that. Let's maintain our objective here, and that is that we are looking to make this system work. So here, if we exit the layout, currently every single one of these buttons, because they're all identical, every single one of those is going to take me there. And this button won't do anything. So I need to double click it, and I need to single step. You guys should have this down by now. And we're going to go to layout, double click, click on this, layout. We're going to go to the invoice, and that's where we want to go. So now, and one other thing is I'm going to change this to white, and I'm going to change this one to white, so they stick out. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. It's no big deal. You don't have to be just like Tim and make this exactly like I am doing. That's fine with me. I don't care. But by doing so, at least you kind of get to know where and how all of this stuff works. So now that we've actually see how we've actually put all these things together, the cool thing is, we still have to build an inventory before we can test this. But there is another thing that we need to do. So let's go ahead and go to our field picker, and we need to be under the register. Now we need to have a date. So we can put this date in anywhere that we want to. We can just select it and drag it up here and call it good. That's fine. What we could also do is we could get rid of this developed by your name, and let's grab a text, and let's just, all we're going to do is just see how it's just blinking. That's all we're going to do. Don't type a thing. Now press Control and then M, and it will ask you, what is it that you want to do? Because what we're trying to do is we're marrying a field to it, and we want that date field there. So we're going to double click the date field. Now if we click off of it, you'll have the little lines. We can change it to what we want. We want 18, we want 24. As a matter of fact, I think we want 24 for sure. We're definitely going to want that 18th century, because you and I both know that Tim is absolutely in love with that particular one, and that's what he wants. So now I like to elongate my date, because you never know what it's going to do. I like to make sure that it's in the right space, though, over here. Other than that, we're good to go. Now we have a date. So now all of our invoices will be dated. But we're missing a few things, aren't we? We're missing a security box and an invoice number. Well, the invoice number, we're just going to drag out here. And what I'm going to do with this invoice number is I'm going to put it way over here on the very far side, and I'm going to drag it out, because remember, it's 7 digits long. I'm going to click on it, click on my inspector, go to my data, make absolutely positive nobody can touch it by getting it off the browse mode. So what this does is what we're looking at in the field entry, and it's what it says, field entry. So if I'm in the field, can I enter this in browse mode? No, I don't want you to enter it while you're browsing the files. Can I enter it in find mode? Well, sure. Entering it in find mode, what you're basically doing is, unless you stick a find button on here, they're not going to be able, your people out in the field aren't going to have access to it. But what this does is by using, or by allowing the check mark in the find mode, that is allowing this number to be found, basically. So we're going to leave it there just like that. Yep, that is pretty much it. So we could add some things into this space if we want to, or we could manipulate the things. We could take these things and put them underneath here if we wanted to. In my store, that is exactly how it is. You could put in a container field here if you wanted to, or some special artwork. If you wanted to just draw a box like we did for this, just grab a box and fill it with something, be my guest, go ahead and do that. But this pretty much ends today's deal. And that was to put together an invoice page, and we did. and you can go to the, from here you can go to the main menu, you can go to the launch page, or you can go to the register. Pretty darn simple. What we will do on the next episode is we will do the inventory. We'll start up the inventory, and then we'll start doing some scripting so that we can link this stuff together and we can actually create some files, which will be absolutely awesome. So until next time, hey, thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, please subscribe. I hope that we're not over 20 minutes. We are over 20 minutes. All right, well, they're going to be a little bit long, I'm sorry, but thanks for watching, and we will see you next time. Until then, have a good day. This concludes the current video in this series. I hope you'll watch all of the video in the series. I am your host, Tim Haid, and this is the end of this video. I want to thank you for watching. Be sure that you keep in touch with us. We are available at cleanairvapors.com, Clean Air Vapors, or at Clean Air Vapors on Instagram and Twitter and all other forms of social media. I hope that you enjoyed what you saw, and I hope that you continue to watch the rest of the videos. If you have any comments or suggestions, please leave them below. I will get back with you. Just remember, these are some of the first videos that I've actually made that are tutorials, and I am trying desperately not to be boring, but the amount of information that is necessary is gigantic. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.